Hey everybody, I'm that bloke with the skull. This is a message for Keith regarding guns you sent in to me recently for some work. The first one that we got back for you is the Ultima MG42, which is this. Quite a thing actually. Absolutely wonderful piece of kit. Try and get that in. Okay. In case anyone's watching this thinking, yes, this is an airsoft gun, it's not a real one. It's not even a real one with airsoft parts in it. This was designed and built from scratch to be an airsoft gun. So Keith, you brought it down to us. It wasn't running properly, it wasn't feeding, it wasn't shooting properly, it was just a little bit on the rough side. You'd had fun with it, I'm guessing. Essentially the wiring was a little bit on the dodgy side, so rather than repair it, just ripped the whole of that and we just a whole new wiring throughout. We've got 16 AEG for the main lines, 22 from the servos, Dean's connectors, all run back into the stock. The feeding unit was perfectly fine. It was just some oxidised connections on the soldering, on the wiring. That's all been taken care of obviously, so now it feeds perfectly. I've put, I don't know, 1,000 rounds through it, it feeds fine. The gearbox itself, if anybody doesn't know, these are a split gearbox design like the ICS and the, I suppose like the TM PSG one. The lower half of the gearbox is actually what you see here, all this metal here, all the grip around here, this is the gearbox casing itself. Okay, it's just a couple of mica type handles over the top, grips over the top, but that is the lower gearbox casing. The motors in there, obviously the gear set trigger, there's a micro switch trigger in there. We've replaced the micro switch trigger as well. Seemed pointless keeping the old one in there when we've replaced everything else. Obviously it's been completely rebuilt, we've reshimmed it, greased it, balanced everything up. There's a new piston in there as well. Your one was looking slightly worn. It wasn't going to let go immediately, but it seemed pointless, especially with a gun worth so much money, to leave a slightly dodgy piston in there. So we've got a new deep fire piston in there. You replaced the cylinder at some point, and the air seal was absolutely appalling. The piston that you had originally just wasn't sealing at all. I put a new O-ring in there. It was just a a micron or two under it. It just wouldn't get good compression. So put a new lightweight vented bearing piston head in there. Obviously with a new O-ring on it, and it's spot on now. Everything else in there is fine. Still got the original helical 26-1 torque gears that were in there. Nothing wrong with those at all, they just needed a good shim. The motor's obviously fine, it's a AEG 700, so that will go on forever. The gun itself cycles and runs beautifully. When you come down, we'll take it outside, we'll throw some rounds down the range. It absolutely cycles beautifully, it's a wonderful thing. The upper, again, if people don't know, the upper gearbox on this is a thumping great slab of aluminium. All CNC machined. It's the main strength and body to the gun up here. Obviously it just has the cylinder head piston tappet plate in it. But they come together, they meet up, and they cycle beautifully. It really is a cracking bit of kit. The shooting problem, the range or accuracy problems we were having, was down to the hot bucking was actually completely worn through. There was a hole in it, yeah, like this. The nub had worn away. You got to the sleeve, that had worn away. So you've been winding it on and on and on, and poking bits of biro in there or whatever else you'd had in there. It just worn it completely away. So that's why it wasn't shooting. Put a new hot bucking in there, Garda 50, the clear one. Excellent bucking, good air seal on there. Clean the barrel. Please clean your barrels, everybody. Please clean your barrels. So she now shoots beautifully. She's running at 348. It's very difficult to chrono this thing on your own, so I won't do it on camera. When you come down, we'll give it another chrono, but she averages at 348 FPS. Again, for people who don't know, this has a hot swap spring system. So you pull a bolt out of the back, the spring guide comes out, spring, put a new spring, bang, away you go. So if it is a little bit warm for some sites, you can easily drop the power down to it. It's full auto only, obviously, so it's not like you can lock it to semi, use it as a marksman's rifle, although that would be excellent for that. Again, if anyone that doesn't know these guns, these are built to be airsoft guns. They're not a kit. It's not a real or a DAC or a replica that someone's hammered a gearbox from a P90 or an M249 or something into. This was built specifically to be an airsoft gun. I can't remember what the price was. I think it's about £1,500. There's probably only a couple of them in the country. If you ever get a chance to get hold of one of these, if you're a support gunner, whether you like the World War II era stuff or not, this is bloody amazing. I'll put it on the range. We've put about 1,000 rounds through it. I don't know, 55, 60 metres easily. I've got a target out there at 63 metres, and the BBs were going down a dead straight line and just clouding and dropping before that. So she was, on a still day, I think she might just go 60 metres with the hop set correctly. Absolutely cracking thing. You could hold back, as long as you can keep ammo going in it, you could hold people back forever with this thing. So, there she is. She's all back, all running. Wonderful thing. Thank you very much for bringing it down. It's great fun to work with. Hope to see it at the War and Peace show. Give them hell if you're actually going to use this damn thing. So, Keith, she's ready and raring. Whenever you're ready, pop down, we'll give it a quick shoot on the range, and you can take it away with it. Thanks again, guys. Bye-bye.